Hey, it's Portal 1. I almost said Portal 3 because it's part 3. I did the same mistake again.
Portal 3 doesn't exist.
I can't wait for part 4 where I say Portal 4. Hey, Seth Rogen, how you doing today? So, alright, so before we start talking about anything, I guess we'll talk about what's... Can you talk about what's on the screen, please? We've got nothing but comments about us not talking about what's happening on the screen. I imagine so. This is the puzzle that gave me the most shit. So there you go. I talked about it. So anyways, between parts, what were we talking about?
We were talking about full life consequences.
Full life consequences. So back in the golden age of YouTube before the adpocalypse, and you know, for any of you who are 2 years old, you won't remember this, but YouTube used to be okay. Some people wrote an amazingly horrible, amazing fan fiction about Half-Life 2. I think it was called Quarter Life, Halfway to Destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one person went into Gary's mod, Gmod, as a lot of people know it by, and made an animation to that, and it is one of the most amazing YouTube poops ever. I call it a YouTube poop. It's not a remix of actual existing material, but it's amazing enough to be a YouTube.
So it sounds like is it like something on a more high-end production value of something like the Toes Gets Trolled, or like Sonitude things where like they'll take the script verbatim.
Yes,
nice.
You'll take the script verbatim, except Gareth, it's higher quality.
John Freeman was Gordon Freeman's brother, and he was at an office typing on an computer.
That's how it starts, and it only gets better. Oh man. Between parts 3 and 4, we should watch that so we can just do nothing but reference it for part 4.
Please.
That's what we do anyway.
It's all we do anyway. I was saying earlier that FTCR is really just a soundboard.
Chicken hoppage, yeah, buddy.
Oh, I just pressed the chicken hoppage chat buddy button.
Nice.
I did it.
So has in this day and age, has the cake is a lie become as painfully unfunny and overused a meme as Find the Computer Room has?
No, wait. No, Find the Computer Room was that was a very short-lived thing, and thank you so much for naming everything after that very short-lived meme.
You're welcome.
The Cake is a Lie lasted maybe a year longer, I think.
Damn.
It lasted until Portal 2 came out.
When did Portal 2 come out? I need to know.
I believe 2009? I think. You shut up. I was wrong. It was 2011.
4 years.
I just remember there was this webcomic thing that people put on. I've seen people share on Facebook. Like it's this group of people at like a party, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? This weird party with people we don't know. I wish there was a way to find where the true geeks are." And like someone just says like, "Oh, look, this cake here." And in the background, someone goes, "The cake is a lie," and everyone looks happy. And even without really knowing what the full context of that meme, I just saw that comic book. I just wished everyone involved was dead.
Yep. Stefan, have Valve made any unsuccessful games?
Probably.
Let me start off with. Let me rephrase that with, have they made any unsuccessful IPs?
I would say they made more... Shut it! I'm trying to... Value...
Hold on, Stefan, stop. Hold on. Before we started this part, Gareth told TJ to do the Seth Rogen laugh anytime Stefan talks, and...
I'm so happy I did. This is beautiful. Okay, TJ, let Stefan tell this story and then go back to doing the laugh after that.
Yeah, Stefan, leave Brittany alone.
I mean, like, Valve, like, they don't have that many IPs, like, in general, like, because they've got Half-Life, Left 4 Dead, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Portal, and that's really it. Like, they have a couple, like, smaller things, but they were never, like, going to be big. They're just kind of like small things they've done on the side, like something like Day of Defeat, or those Half-Life weird spin-offs.
So how many games in general then? Like, how big is their resume of games?
I'm gonna count.
But yeah, one thing I wanted to say about Valve in general before we are about to go to our death now, because we're on number 19 of 19. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so one thing about Valve is, I'm so glad I survived that. I don't know how I did that. Here's the cake. Damn it. I guess I'll put a pin in that and talk about what's on screen. So GLaDOS is saying, hey, you completed all the tasks. Good job. Now we're gonna kill you.
That's not very nice.
Yeah. This was not in the original programming of this test facility. Our robot, Lord GLaDOS, has gone insane for reasons because it's funny, lol. And hello, you. I'm just gonna shoot a portal and escape this death trap, you idiot.
Because GLaDOS is Ultron.
And here we go. Yeah, I'm not dead.
And I counted Valve has like about 20 or so games, and that's not counting all the that's not counting all the additions to certain games. And
So-
the last full game they made was Dota 2 back in 2013.
Yeah, it must have been a while
Damn.
then.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to say about Valve is that they have a pretty good consistency with what's the word I'm looking for? When something is good, quality.
Yeah.
They have a good consistency with quality. And they do this thing where they're like, I want to quote Miyamoto, but at the same time, quoting him is stupid because he goes against the rules that he says that he goes by.
So George
Miyamoto,
Lucas.
yeah, so does George. Yeah, so Miyamoto has said in the past, you know, if you just want successful game number 2, I'm not going to make that because I want to make new ideas and I want to make sure that it's like an innovative and also really good quality at the same time. Even though Miyamoto has gone against that a lot of times. But Valve, I would say, has actually held up that thing.
So is there lack of sequels a thing of like where they don't want to risk like polluting their brand, or they just don't really have good ideas for another one?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It's both. It's like, hey, I know you guys want Half-Life 3, but we want Half-Life 3 to blow Half-Life 2 out of the water, and if we don't have that idea yet, then we're not gonna fucking make it. Shut up, go away. And I support that.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. So
that does like make a lot of sense. I think the problem people have is that Valve is very quiet with everything. They're like, oh yeah, Half-Life 3, it'll come eventually. Maybe.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah.
it's more so if they weren't cock teasing everyone, they wouldn't be like, if they came out and said we don't want to make Half-Life 3 until we have something good, then people would be fine with it.
What's the name? The Steve Jobs of Valve? What's his name?
Gabe Newell.
Gabe Newell. TJ, oh my god. I'm glad you find it, Gareth. I'm glad you find it, Gareth. I'm glad you find it funny, Gareth.
It's just funny.
No,
it's
I'm
just
not. I hate
funny
you.
with
Sorry, Gareth, I broke Steven.
I was just like, because of how annoyed Stefan was getting. That's what made me laugh more.
But yeah, Gabe Newell has like in the past was like, yeah, Half-Life 3, it's coming out soon, it's gonna be great. And then 10 years later, nothing happened.
It's still coming.
I mean,
he eventually stopped saying it's still coming, and yeah.
I mean, at the very least, they've never gone on record saying that, oh, Portal 3 is gonna come. Like, they've never talked about Portal 3, so that's why no one's, like, really complaining about it.
So, I read this, and Stefan, you actually invest time in looking fictional stuff up. Was there actually a thing between Gabe Newell and J.J. Abrams wanting to do either Half-Life or Portal or both movie?
Yep. Yeah, they've talked about wanting to make I know at least, I'm not sure about Half-Life, but I know for sure they've talked about making a Portal movie.
It's that mechanic that you referenced, TJ. Look, we did it.
Well, I forget. Was it? I'm not sure if it was a fan film or if it was officially funded. But I remember, or officially, like official product. But I remember years ago seeing this kind of really high production value little short film about Portal. But I'm not sure if that was just like a good fan film or if Valve actually
that was a
behind
fan
it.
film, and it was directed by the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, nice.
Who's that?
I think his name is Dan Trachtenberg. He like made that short film, and that got the attention.
10 Cloverberg. That's his name.
he made that.
Definitely not related. Okay, so that's the third installment of the Cloverfield series.
The second.
It's the third. Because we had Cloverfield and then Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, and then Mr. Clovenfield. What was his name?
No, Dan Trachtenberg made a Portal short film which got the attention of J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot, so they were going to make a Portal film, but that didn't go through, so J.J. Abrams said, oh, hey, we have this idea.
Stefan, that's not his name. His name is 10 Clovenberg.
Yeah, 10 Clovenberg. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't act like you know what you're talking about.
I don't know how my stupid brain thought that Stefan was talking about 10. But it just happened.
I'm answering your question.
I'm Mr.
Yeah, with fake news.
How is this wrong?
I think it's hilarious that Stefan doesn't know the real director of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
But I do.
10 glob.
Obviously you don't.
Well, it's obviously 10 gluten allergy.
Steve Gutenberg.
Yes.
It was John Goodman, you idiot.
You uncivilized cretin.
John
Clovenberg.
John.
You mean Uncle Chuck?
Yes, Uncle
Can I see Uncle Chuck's picture again?
John Goodmoon.
Whoa.
No way.
Okay.
No way, Skooks.
I think what I'm gonna do for this, I mean, maybe people will have figured it out by now because it's part 3, but maybe for this entire thing, I will include links to all of our references. Because I feel like at this point, I feel like it's necessary.
They're made of whoa.
To go back slightly on topic,
Damn it, TJ, that's 2 references.
I think a Portal movie would not work.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah, it wouldn't work because it's very...
You said you only died once. That was twice.
Okay, no, Gareth, a Portal movie would work if you were a fucking genius.
I guess so, but like, would it be a first? Would the whole movie be first person?
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
Absolutely not.
You know, they almost did.
Why, Dan Clovenberg did it?
Do you know that they almost Silence of the Lambs was almost going to be entirely. Oh well, every time Chloe Starling was on screen, it was going to be entirely POV from her.
Gareth, when you corrected yourself and said, "Oh whoa," I thought you were doing the whoa whoa.
Silence of the
Please, no. Silence of the FTCR references.
Silence
Jesus.
of the.
Please.
The memes,
End of
Clarice.
suffering.
The memes.
With some fava memes.
And some nice chicken. Oh, this LP's. I know we say this in every other OP, but this LP's gone off the fucking rails. It really has.
Okay.
I love how the game froze there for a second.
So does that mean it's time to bring it back?
It means it's time to talk about B-Move.
No. It's not time to talk. We need some sort of. If we don't have balance, then people will be like.
Yeah, we need some balance. Okay, so
We need
So
the
people-
Avatar.
Avatar?
CPL, he's the one who brings the balance.
Oh, I thought you were talking about J.J. Abrams' Avatar.
You mean James Cameron's Avatar?
Yeah, J. James Avatar.
James Cameron.
J. Jonah Cameron.
No, his name is James Avatar.
James Avatar. Hello, I'm James Avatar. That's a weird name. Fuck you.
I think it's funny that you guys don't know the real director of Avatar. Craig
We do.
Avatar.
We do know.
It's my uncle John Avatar.
J. James Avatar.
J. Stephen, is it J. James or James Avatar?
It's both.
I think
The J stands for James, you idiot.
we need James Avatar to direct the Portal movie.
So, Steven, have you ever watched Doug Love's or listened to Doug Love's movies?
Doug's first movie.
Doug's first love of movies.
Doug's first movie podcast.
There was someone on that used to pretend he was oh shoot, but they were referencing J.J. Abrams, and he was like, "Oh, I thought his name was J.J. Abrams."
J.J. Abrams.
I'm officially wiping away tears.
Please join us in part 4 where we'll try and talk about the game.